Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through your sources, find those key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to getting up to speed. Today, we're plunging into something pretty interesting, a tool that's really changing how people work with data, even if they're not, tech experts. We are talking about Kinemami. Now, if you've ever felt a bit lost in all the data out there, or maybe put off by needing to code just to understand it, then this one's definitely for you. From what we've gathered, Kinami, that's K-N-I-M-E, short for Constance Information Miner. It's a free open source platform built for data analytics, reporting, integration. But here's the kicker, the thing that really stands out. It's all visual, a visual workflow interface. So instead of typing code, you're like dragging and dropping these little blocks, these nodes. You build your whole analysis visually, which means suddenly complex data science isn't just for the coders anymore. It makes it, well, intuitive.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that visual approach, it democratizes the whole field, doesn't it? We see that across the board in the sources. It cuts through that feeling of being overwhelmed by data. It lets you get knowledgeable fast without the usual headache. Our sources really point to it being great for students, in data science, business analytics, life sciences, social sciences, basically anywhere data is used. And researchers too, of course. Academic, public health, corporate. It's kind of built for anyone who needs to wrestle with data, but maybe hasn't spent years learning Python or R.
Yeah.
It puts these really sophisticated tools into, everyone's hands, potentially.
That's huge. It tackles a major hurdle right there. So, okay, let's break that down. How are students using it? What are the sources saying there? One really interesting thing we found is how it changes the learning process itself. For data science, I mean. You can grasp tricky concepts, right? Like data pre-processing, machine learning models, visualization. You learn by doing it visually, by playing around, not by fighting with code syntax.
Exactly. It shifts the focus.
Yeah, you focus on the ideas behind data science, not just the mechanics of coding. Makes it
Right.
smoother. And it's not just theory. We saw loads of examples of students using K&IME for actual projects, like building predictive models, for market trends or something.
Or maybe health outcomes.
Yeah, or creating interactive dashboards for businesses. Text analysis, too.
Oh, right. Looking at social media data or survey comments.
Exactly. In marketing, finance, health, all sorts of areas. And for bigger things, like thesis work. It's apparently a massive help.
How so?
Well, it automates the tedious stuff, cleaning data, testing different models, and then visualizing the results. It makes the whole research process more solid, transparent, reproducible.
That makes sense. And shifting gears a bit, what about researchers specifically? Beyond the student angle, for them, K&IME seems to be a real workhorse for data prep and mining. What really stood out in the papers we looked at was how easily it connects to different data types.
Right, like Excel, CSV, the usual suspects.
Yeah, but also databases, SQL, even APIs for live data feeds. It just pulls it all together, which, as you know, simplifies that first, often painful step of cleaning and prepping the data.
Which can take up so much time.
Exactly. You need that solid foundation before you can even think about the cool analysis stuff.
And speaking of analysis, what about the more advanced things? Machine learning, AI, K9ME, is actually pretty powerful there too. Researchers can train models, test them, understand them.
What kinds of models are we talking about?
Well, things like regression, for predicting numbers.
Yeah.
Or clustering, finding hidden groups in data. Decision trees too, which are great because they're easy to follow.
And all visually.
All through that same visual workflow. Plus, it handles text mining and sentiment analysis.
So good for qualitative data. Surveys, social media posts.
Precisely. It helps extract insights from all that unstructured text that's usually really hard to quantify.
That's a definite plus with so much text data around now. Now, you mentioned reproducibility earlier for students, but for researchers, that's absolutely critical, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the sources really hammered this home. Reproducible research. Because K9 workflows can be saved and shared so easily, someone else can take your workflow, run it with the data, and get the exact same results.
Which is fundamental for verifying findings.
Yeah, it builds trust, makes science more transparent. You're not just sharing the results, you're sharing the how.
Exactly right. It supports that whole open science movement.
Yeah.
But thinking about the tech itself, what are the key features making all this possible beyond just the drag and drop?
Good question. I think it's the flexibility and the ecosystem around it. Yes, the visual interface is the headline. No code needed to get started. But what's really smart, based on our deep dive, is that it also supports extensions for Python, R, Java.
So if you do code, you can still integrate your own scripts.
Exactly. It's not an either. You can use the visual tools for 90% of the work maybe, and then drop in a custom script for something really specific.
Best of both worlds, then.
Sort of, yeah. It optimizes the common stuff, frees you up for the complex bits. And the other big thing is integration. It plays nicely with tools people already use.
Like what?
Well, Python, obviously, Excel, SQL databases, but also things like TensorFlow for deep learning.
Okay, so serious AML libraries.
Right. And H2O.ai, another big machine learning platform. Even visualization tools like Tableau.
So it fits into an existing toolkit. It doesn't demand you replace everything.
Exactly. It's not a walled garden. And maybe the most compelling part, it's really community-driven,
Yeah, yeah.
meaning there's this huge online community sharing workflows, templates, custom nodes.
Oh, like a marketplace or hub?
Yeah, the Kanaimi Hub. So you can often find a pre-built solution or component for what you need. It's like having thousands of collaborators.
That definitely speeds things up. Less reinventing the wheel.
For sure. It helps with learning and with actually getting analysis done faster.
Yeah.
So if we wrap this all up, what our sources are telling us is that Kanaimi is this really effective platform for, well, democratizing data science.
Mm-hmm.
It uses a visual no-code approach, but it's also extensible, making advanced analytics genuinely accessible. Students, researchers, business analysts, pretty much anyone. It's a powerful way to get informed and make sense of data without needing that deep coding background first.
Which leads to a fascinating thought, doesn't it? What happens? What new possibilities emerge when these complex analytical tools aren't just for the specialists anymore? When they're accessible to, well, almost anyone, regardless of whether they can code or not.
Huh?
Think about the impact. How could that kind of accessibility reshape entire fields? Medicine, social science, business, even art. What happens when more people can ask and answer their own questions with data?